All right, today we're going to talk about mineral properties. Mineral properties are very important so you can determine what kind of mineral you're dealing with. Having to identify minerals can be tricky, but if you know the proper steps and the right properties, then you should be good. You'll have no problem. We've got color. Now, color isn't a very reliable method as far as identifying minerals. This is because some minerals, such as quartz, can be several different colors. Also, people see colors differently. What I think might be black, somebody else might think is navy blue, or could be a turquoise or aquamarine, or pinks and gold and all kinds of colors. So color is okay, but it's not very reliable. With color, we have clarity. We have transparent, translucent, and opaque. Transparent is like the overhead projector transparency machines from old school back in the day. The teachers would write on a clear transparency. It was a copy of the worksheet and it would go up on the wall. Transparent, clear. Translucent is foggy or frosted, like a shower door or a window. A decorative window might be translucent, might be frosted glass. Opaque, zero light gets through. Opaque, zero light. Opaque, zero light gets through. That's how I remember it. Next, we have luster. Luster is how light reflects off of a mineral. Does the mineral have a shine? Is it metallic or non-metallic? And descriptions for non-metallic lusters might be earthy, waxy, glassy, or pearly. With luster, if you are unable to tell or if you're not sure about your mineral, you could always try and break the mineral open. With pyrite, I had to break it open because the outside was pretty weathered and it wasn't really giving me a clear look of what the luster should be. So I broke it open, but be sure to wear safety goggles because fragments will break off. If you're breaking pyrite, it sparks. Always wear your cute little safety goggles. Protect your eyes. They're the only ones you have. Next, streak. Streak is the powdered mineral when you rub it on a unglazed porcelain tile. It helps to have a black tile and a white tile so you can see the different colors of all your minerals. So your mineral will either have a colored streak, no streak, or a white streak. And the powdered mineral is the true mineral color. What you see when you look at it may be different than what the actual streak is. For example, pyrite is pretty light gray colored. You can see the metallic bits in it. But if you rub it on the streak plate, maybe, there we go, you can see how dark it is. It's very dark colored. So the streak is darker than the actual mineral that you're looking at in person. Hardness. We use the Mohs scale of hardness to determine how hard a mineral is. The lower the number, the softer the mineral. The higher the number, the harder the mineral. Diamond is the hardest, so it has the highest number with a Mohs scale number of 10. Talc is very soft. It can be scraped apart with your fingernail, not even really a whole nail, just your finger will rub some of it off. And it has a Mohs scale number of 1. To test the hardness, we use our fingernail. You can use a copper penny or a copper plate. You can use glass or a steel nail. And you can even use one mineral to scratch against the other mineral, and whichever one does the scratching to the other is the harder mineral. For example, if you take a diamond and scratch it with talc, then the diamond will be the harder one because it will scratch the talc. Next, we have cleavage versus fracture. What's the difference? Well, cleavage is what we see when a mineral breaks along a specific plane or planes. Cleavage is typically predictable. One mineral should break the same way every time. For example, we have galena. Galena is metallic. You can see it shining. It's very hard. Very hard. Galena has 3 cleavage planes, and when it breaks apart, it breaks into cubes. So every time galena breaks, it will break the same way. It will break into new cubes and smaller pieces until there's none left to break. But if we were to break this piece, it would break small little pieces off into cubes. A fracture is an irregular break. A fracture will not break the same way every time. I said a minute ago that I had to break my pyrite, and here is what happened. It started off as a large piece. When I broke it, it kind of broke into shards. This piece you can see is very sharp and pointy. This piece is smaller, but they don't really have a typical way that they broke. They didn't break with even planes. The pyrite it fractures. That's why it's called fracture, because it breaks into unpredictable new pieces. There we go. Crystal habit describes the growth patterns of crystals in the mineral, and the crystal habit can vary depending on the environment and the conditions that the mineral is growing in. In a perfect environment, it will grow perfectly like a cube if that's the mineral that you're looking for. The crystal habit has many different forms that it can take and combinations. We have tabular, which looks like a tablet or a book, and that one could be biotite. Stay up. Biotite. It's flat, tabular. The pieces break off into new, smaller, flat, tabular shaped pieces. We have, it's not on here. There's several different examples on this sheet, but my favorite that's not listed is the fluorite. Fluorite is octahedral. It has 4 even sides that breaks, and it creates new plane. As it creates a new plane, fluorite breaks into 4 cleavage planes, which gives it 8 sides that you can tell when you're looking at it that it breaks into. And also it is very, can we see? It's tricky. It's very colorful and very pretty. My 7-year-old thinks that this is hers when I'm finished with this course. Maybe she's right. Then we have other properties of minerals. That could be density or volume. A good way to measure that is to fill a cup with a measured amount of water in a liquid measuring cup, and add your mineral into the water and see to what level the mineral rises. That will give you the volume. Effervescence is when you take your acetic acid, and we applied it to the calcite. I'm not going to do it now. I'm not wearing any protective equipment, but it will cause a bubbling reaction, and the acid breaks down the calcite and turns it into a gas. Not all minerals do that, so if you have effervescence present, then you can narrow down your results. Some minerals might be magnetic, some might taste salty, although I don't recommend licking any of these because they are dirty and you don't want to put any of that in your mouth. So, and there you go. That is the properties of minerals, and I hope everyone's having a fantastic day.